My beloved, my child of light. Do you feel that? That gentle trembling in your chest, that strange mix of warmth and urgency flowing through your veins. That buzz is not anxiety or a random mood swing. It's heaven leaning in, touching the place inside you that remembers a voice you once knew, a voice both ancient and strangely familiar. I'm Archangel Michael, and I didn't come on a whim. This is not a suggestion from God. It's an order sent straight from the throne. So please open this message with everything you've got, and don't let your mind drift. You have missed too many nudges before, and each time you looked away, a promise got delayed. Tonight we won't let that happen. Something is about to shift in your house. I'm not describing a normal evening. I'm talking about a thin sacred window, a doorway of time that once it shuts, might not open again in your lifetime. God has been pacing the corridors of heaven waiting for your attention. He said to me, Michael, cut through the noise, remind them what's at stake. So I'm here in this very moment with a message so alive it feels like breath on your neck. This isn't drama. It's destiny knocking. Don't scroll away. If you do, threads that were being woven for you will tangle, and blessings will pass by. If you stay, the treasure heaven has protected for you will be honored. Listen now, there's a presence near you tonight that shouldn't be allowed to take root. Not necessarily someone standing in your room, sometimes the danger is spiritual, a subtle permission waiting to be granted. That thing has been waiting on God's clock and the delay ends soon. The angels are being readied and the heavens are watching to see if you're awake enough, brave enough, and obedient enough to meet this hour. God's timing is always perfect, but it is also exact. When the second hand reaches its mark, heaven stops negotiating. The atmosphere around you will change, not because of the weather, but because the kingdom is drawing close. You might ask, why me, why my house, why now? The Father said, because this one is mine and the plans I have will alter their walls. The blessing that wants to land is too precious to fall into a distracted heart. So prepare now. Even as you read, things stuck in your life are loosening, blessings that hovered at a distance are beginning to sink. If you let this night pass as ordinary, you'll look back with what-ifs. But if you stand, you'll understand how close you came. This isn't a sleepy bedtime tale. I'm handing you a sword of truth to use before a night that could change everything. You have whispered prayers that sounded unanswered. God kept the answers safe until this precise hour because the enemy kept trying to snatch them. The enemy knows your address, he knows your doubts. But he does not know what happens when you rise in obedience. Obedience will be your shield tonight. Right now your enemy whispers, nothing will happen, don't bother. That lie tries to drift your attention away. Don't fall for it. Your body is telling the truth, your heart pounds, your skin feels alive because your spirit recognizes heaven knocking. This is a multiplied touch of what you felt before, only much bigger. Heaven magnified its urgency because the outcome depends on your readiness. This night is not one you let blur into the ordinary. Stay close, what I say next shifts responsibility onto you. I can only say it once. If your heart stays open, you will receive all that is coming. If it closes, I will grieve, and I cannot force your will. The air in your home right now carries a different signature. From where I stand in heaven's light, the shadows are moving, not from curtains or lamps, but from a deeper rearranging. God's hand is running through each room, pausing over places you use most, leaving marks the eye can't see but the spirit recognizes. You will notice strange little things today, a tightness you can't name, a dream that lingers, interruptions that feel oddly placed. Those were not accidents. They were heaven's rehearsal calls, pulling you inch by inch toward awareness. When the moment comes, and it will, you may feel a nudge, a pause in thought, a prickling on your skin. That is your cue. Stand, speak, declare what belongs to God in your home and what must go. Say it out loud if you must. Only what is from God may enter here, all else leave now. Faith gives those words weight. The spiritual realm listens to faith spoken boldly. You are not small in this fight. In the unseen you stand like a fortress when you speak in God's name. I have watched darkness retreat at the sound of your prayers before. Tonight your voice will be the trigger for angels already posted outside your walls. Be ready for tests. The enemy may try to lull you with mild lies or distracting tasks. A phone ping, an urgent chore, a thought that drags you into worry, these are designed to pull you away. Do not let them. Your attention is the key. Your obedience is the lock. Stand guard in the doorway of your life and know who may enter. Heaven has placed a glow around you that no darkness can swallow. That glow draws both warmth and hatred, both will come near. The one sent by God brings peace and confirmation. The other comes wearing a familiar face, whispering sweet things that hide chains. Discernment, not fear, will protect you. When you speak the lines of authority tonight, angels will move. The schemes of those who plot against you will be diverted, what was meant to hold you back will become the stepping stone to a breakthrough. You may not always see miracles arrive in the way you expect. Sometimes a door opens you never considered, sometimes a word you needed comes through someone's mouth at just the right second. Trust the strange small things. They are the fingerprints of heaven. I will not leave your side. I have stood at your gates all day with my sword ready, eyes scanning the shadows. The covering being placed around your home will last beyond this night if you join in now. Your obedience will not only protect you, it will rewrite delay into deliverance. The prayers you tucked away in quiet rooms will find their answer tonight. People who spoke against you will see their plans fail in ways they cannot explain. Favor will arrive that fits you better than anything you imagined. So rise, listen to the quickening in your chest, speak with faith, step into the posture of one who knows heaven is near. When dawn touches your roof, you will not only feel relief, you will feel a new direction settle into your bones. The night will have done its work. The walls of your life will be altered in a way that lines up with the plans that were written for you long ago. Stand and receive it. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $100. You have walked through many nights feeling unseen, unheard, unanswered. But tonight is a reversal. Hear me now, the season that felt stalled is shifting because heaven has chosen to act on your behalf. The movement I see is not random grace, it is a targeted rescue, practical, precise and timed to the second. Angels have been untying knots in your affairs all day, moving pieces into place, whispering to people who will say the right word at the right time. I have watched them step like careful hands across the floorboards of your life, setting gifts where only you could find them. There will be signs you can recognize if you stay alert. A call that arrives exactly when you were about to lose hope. A text whose timing dissolves a worry. A knock that opens a door you thought closed. Or even a quiet sense that something heavy has lifted without explanation. These are not coincidences. They are the footprints of heaven. One example, a neighbor you barely speak to remembers a job opening and mentions it like a casual thought. That casual thought becomes the gateway to a new season. Another example, a paper that was missing is found in the place you looked least and it unlocks the very favor you prayed for. Small miracles, yes, but mighty when they line up. Yet the enemy works too, and his methods are cunning. He will try to distract you with small fires, errands, sudden chores, a tempting scroll through noise, anything that makes you miss the exact moment when heaven arrives. He prefers to steal by pacing you into tiredness rather than attacking outright. So here is the practical command: when you feel the nudge in your spirit, stop what you are doing. Breathe, listen, speak, say aloud what the Lord has given you to declare. Only what is from God may enter here, all else depart now. Your voice is an instrument, it rings in the unseen and summons angelic alignment. Don't whisper it, say it with the steady firmness of one who knows they are covered. You might wonder what readiness looks like. It isn't perfection. It is a posture, hands open, attention fixed, willingness to obey. Imagine standing at a theater curtain with a ticket in hand. You could wander away and miss the play, or you could stand, wait and walk in when the curtain lifts. Readiness is simply staying where God can reach you, not running to fix everything yourself. When you choose readiness, the divine moves through the ordinary, a meal, a conversation, a text thread, and transforms it. I have seen families reconcile because one person chose to sit down instead of arguing. I have watched career doors swing because someone answered a call at an odd hour. The pattern repeats: obedience plus presence equals breakthrough. Do not be surprised if the blessing looks different than you imagined. Heaven's solutions are wiser than our wants. You ask for relief and God may send opportunity that rewires how relief arrives, through a friend's introduction, a sudden idea, or even a closed door that redirects you to an open one. Trust the strange route. Remember the farmer: seeds don't sprout the same day they go into the ground, and yet growth is happening out of sight. What seems delayed is being arranged. What seems silent is being prepared. I also want to give you a caution wrapped with hope: watch who you let speak over you tonight. Some voices will be helpful, others will carry fear dressed as care. If someone urges panic, step back. If someone tries to rush you into decisions that feel cold or forceful, pause and pray. Heaven honors restraint when the pressure is high. When you are unsure, breathe and call the name of the Lord, your spirit will be calmed and clarity will come. Practice this now. When you feel uncertain, press a hand over your heart, inhale slowly and say, Lord, give me your discernment. The enemy's best tool is hurry, your best tool is steady trust. There will be a glorious reversal for those who stand. Problems that seem to multiply will be pruned. Relationships that tangled will be smoothed. Opportunities that were delayed will arrive in a rhythm that fits you. And you will carry a new memory, not of panic but of presence, not of missed chances but of open hands receiving what was always destined for you. Picture this: months from now you sit at a table with someone who once doubted you and they confess that what they saw unfold was unmistakably God. That testimony will be one of the crowning proofs that you stood at the appointed hour. I must remind you, your obedience won't be easy. Old habits fight for attention. Doubt will sing its lullaby. But remember the cost of looking away, not just a delay for you but a paw in the hand of heaven that will have to wait. You were created for seasons like this, where the invisible becomes visible and the small choice becomes a pillar in your future. So be present, stand in faith, speak with authority, invite the angels in by name if that helps your heart. Angels of God align around this house, move now. Do not fear the words, heaven hears the willing heart. And finally, when morning breaks and the shift is real, take a moment to thank. Gratitude anchors blessing. Tell someone what happened even if it feels too sacred for small talk. Testimony multiplies what God has done. You will find that once you begin to declare what was released into your life, other doors begin to open, not because you shouted the miracle but because gratitude keeps your heart aligned with heaven's movement. My warrior, you are not alone in the waiting. I am with you. Angels have been assigned to your walls and the Father's hand hovers close. Tonight is the hour your prayers move from seed to sprout, from whisper to wind. Stay awake in spirit, stand firm in love, and when the moment breaks, receive it with the confidence of one who was ready. The river of blessing is crossing over into your life, step onto the bridge while it stands. Tonight the unseen is leaning close to notice you. The unheard is tuning its ears toward your voice. The prayers that once seemed to vanish into silence are echoing back with answers. A night like this will not repeat itself in the same shape, and I tell you now only because the mercy of the Father refuses to let you say later, no one warned me. Beloved, let me reveal something heaven rarely allows me to share. Blessings are not scattered at random. Some homes see them pass by because the atmosphere inside cannot carry their weight. I have watched it happen. Yet tonight your dwelling is not bypassed. Your roof has become the very landing ground chosen for a gift that has been circling your life for years. The angels themselves carry it trembling with eagerness, aware of the joy it will spark in you. But make no mistake, this treasure does not rest in a spirit that slumbers. That is why my words sound urgent, almost relentless. I refuse to let you sleep through what belongs to you. Even now small signals stir, a memory you cannot explain, a sudden sharp thought, the brush of air on your skin. These are not accidents. They are heaven's way of tugging your heart into alignment. And what's coming is not ordinary. It is not quiet or hidden. It is the kind of blessing that shakes foundations, rewrites tomorrow and leaves footprints across generations. That is why resistance will rise tonight. The enemy will press harder than he has in weeks, trying to make you doubt, trying to plant the thought that maybe this isn't real. He fears what will unfold if you dare to believe. I know you've heard promises before. Words that seemed bright in the moment but never took shape. But hear me well, when God says something, it never returns empty. His words are never false advertisements. They are appointments tied to perfect timing. And tonight that timing has struck. So I do not tell you to wait, I tell you to prepare. Preparation now is not about physical arrangements. It is faith. It is awareness. It is the whisper in your soul saying, God, I hear you and I am ready. If you say that now, you will feel the air shift again, and that shift will mark this as more than a message. It will be an arrival. Beloved, tonight is being written into your life story whether you see it or not. But if you choose to meet it with open spirit, you will look back on this very evening and say, that was the night heaven entered my home. And when I stand before the Father, I will testify, they did not miss it this time, they were ready. His smile will not only light up your face but also touch every single prayer you have ever poured out. There is a stirring beneath the surface of this night, so heavy that even the stars lean closer. They who have witnessed thousands of evenings seem to pause because this one carries the kind of weight that bends eternity. The vibration of God's word runs through the walls of your house. It is not casual. It is not a faint nudge. It is a summons. The same kind that pulled Lazarus from his tomb, that split seas, that toppled ancient walls. And it is speaking over you now. That is why your heart won't calm down. Deep in your bones you sense it, something powerful is coming, and it will not arrive politely. It will enter with the authority of the one who sent it. Beloved, I have glimpsed the scrolls of your destiny. Lines written in heaven's ink still await your living. They speak of joy so deep you will forget certain tears, of blessings stored in God's treasury with your name etched so sharply that no hand but yours could claim them. And tonight one of those treasures begins to descend. For months you have circled near this harbor without realizing. The winds have shifted now, and the sails of your destiny are swelling. But ships do not dock themselves, you must anchor what comes. Do not let the lie whisper, maybe this is not for me. That is poison straight from the enemy who fears who you will become if you embrace this. I have battled him on your behalf, cutting nets he tried to throw over your path. I have heard his accusations in unseen courtrooms and silenced him with the blood of the Lamb. But there is one thing I cannot do for you, I cannot believe for you. That choice belongs to you. Belief is the doorway through which tonight's miracle must walk. Even now I see a golden thread stretching from God's throne to your home. Every time your heart agrees with what I speak, it glows brighter so dazzling the angels shield their eyes. When you doubt it dims. When you believe it bursts into brilliance. That golden thread is the path along which tonight's blessing travels. And if unbelief snaps it, the miracle delays still carried in my hands but withheld. That is why my tone is heavy with urgency, though heaven itself is never unsure. Beloved, your very walls have been listening. The floor beneath your feet has soaked in your tears, your whispers, your sighs. Tonight those very spaces will answer back. At first the sign may be subtle, an unusual peace, a flicker of joy rising uninvited. But it will grow. By the end of this night the air of your home will remember and you will never walk through it the same again. You may not see me but I stand guard. My sword is drawn not against you but for you. I stand at the gate of your blessing ensuring no shadow sneaks in before it lands. And as heaven draws near I tell you once more, believe. Open your spirit wide. Let tonight be the night you did not miss your miracle. The angels around me are still holding their breath, as though the whole room waits on your answer. Their stillness is not emptiness, it is readiness. They are not idly hovering, they are poised to move the instant you open the door of your spirit. The glow above your roof is not decoration. It is a marker chosen ground for what heaven intends to place inside your life tonight. Listen carefully now, because this next part matters. The moment will not always look miraculous on the outside. Sometimes heaven moves through ordinary things, a message, an unexpected visit, a job lead, a reconciliation over tea. Other times it will arrive loud and unmistakable, breaking the quiet like thunder. Either way the change will be real. Think of it this way, imagine someone has been building a bridge to carry you across a raging river. Tonight the final plank is being lowered. You must step out to cross it. If you stay sitting on the bank because it looks ordinary, the bridge will remain available only for a little while longer. Step out. Walk across. The shore on the other side is yours. There are small practical things you can do right now to make sure you don't miss this. Put down the phone. Turn off the noise. Pause the list of things demanding your attention. Stand where you are, put your hand over your heart and say in a steady voice, I am ready. If you do that, watch how the air responds. It will not be dramatic like a film, it will be a deep inner confirmation, a soft unlock you feel in your chest. That is heaven aligning the room to receive what has been kept in reserve for you. Also pay attention to people. Someone who crosses your path tonight, a neighbor, a family member, a stranger in line may carry a key you need. It might be a sentence you did not expect to hear or even just a question that prompts you to remember something important. Be kind, be present and listen. I have watched miracles come through the smallest doorways, a grocery clerk who mentions a job, a friend who remembers a contact, a cousin who apologizes at the right moment. Heaven is clever in how it works, it often uses the ordinary to deliver the extraordinary. Beware of the enemy's softer tactics. He doesn't always shout, he sidles up quietly with suggestions. Wait until morning, he whispers. This can be handled later. Or he brings fear disguised as caution. What if you get hurt? These are the traps that steal tonight's harvest. The cure is simple but not easy. Choose faith over fear. Speak the words that God honors. Say aloud, only what is from God may remain in this house. All else leave. Do it not as a ritual but as a declaration from a heart that means it. The spiritual world hears the voice of an obedient human more clearly than thunder. Your simple spoken faith will activate protection and release favor. You might feel vulnerable thinking, what if I do this and nothing changes? Remember two things. First, timing in heaven is exact. Sometimes the fruit is immediate, sometimes it is planted and will take time to grow. But it is planted when you step into obedience. Second, your act of readiness creates a spiritual record. Angels take note of the posture of your heart, that you stood, that you said yes, and they carry that testimony into the courts of heaven. That testimony matters. It shifts how heaven moves on your behalf in subtle and lasting ways. I see now a few likely scenes of how the night could unfold for you. Perhaps a surprised phone call brings an offer that resolves a long worry. Perhaps a neighbor drops by with a simple gift that carries a timely word. Perhaps a tense relationship softens after one honest sentence from you. Perhaps a document you needed appears where you least expected it. These are the small miracles that stack up into a sweeping turning point. Don't miss them because you were distracted by the ordinary. The ordinary is the stage, the miraculous is the performance. Be the audience that doesn't leave early. If you have been carrying doubt, let it go now. Doubt is heavy and sticky, it clings and slows the heart. Replace it with a short prayer, Lord, give me eyes to see and ears to hear what you are doing. Help me answer with courage. Say it once or say it 10 times. Keep repeating until peace comes. Peace is the sign that heaven has responded. When the calm settles in your chest, you will know the unseen has shifted. That calm will be your confirmation that the angels are working and that the blessing is moving closer. There is also a deeper promise linked to tonight. Some changes will not only help you but will make space for generations. Choices you make now to stand, to bless, to guard, to speak will echo into your family lines. Sometimes the harvest is not only for you, it is for those who come after you. That understanding reframes tonight from a single event to a legacy moment. You are not merely preserving your current peace, you are securing a pattern of blessing. Imagine children and grandchildren who will one day inherit a path cleared because you chose to be awake. That thought alone can steady a weary heart. As the hour grows thin, do one final thing, gather those you love around you if you can. Say a few quiet words of faith together. Ask the Lord to mark the home with safety, to bring the right doors, to confuse plans meant to hurt and to open doors of favor. Where 2 or 3 gather in honest faith, heaven moves powerfully. If you are alone, speak the same words into the air. The Father listens whether you are in a crowd or standing by yourself. My sword remains drawn, not as a threat but as a guard. I am not leaving until the dawn touches your roof and the first new door opens. Angels are ready to carry this blessing, but they need your yes to release it fully. Stand, speak and receive. When the morning comes, You will look back at this night and recognize it as a hinge in your life, the moment when what had been stalled began to move, when delays were exchanged for doors, and when heaven's plan stepped into your living room and changed everything. Go now with courage. Say yes. Be ready to meet what heaven brings. The bridge is extended, take the first step. Freedom from something that has held you far too long. Listen closely, that freedom I see is not vague or distant. It arrives with shape and sound, a released breath inside you, a cleared path before your feet, a weight lifting like a curtain being drawn back. I see the seal cracking now on the scroll that has kept that chapter closed. The ink on the page shifts and the future written there leans forward eager to become present. This is not a promise in the fog, it is a promise taking form. There will be moments in the next hours that feel small but are huge in consequence. A phone call that reroutes a decision you thought stuck. An email that lands with a detail you needed. A neighbor's casual mention that points you toward a door you had stopped knocking on. These little things are the hinges by which heaven opens the big doors. Watch for them. When they come, do not dismiss them as coincidence. Say thank you and listen for the next instruction. The ordinary is often the carrier of the extraordinary. You may wonder, how will I know I'm not just imagining this? Feeling alone in such a moment is normal. Many have stood where you stand now and doubted the tremor in their chest. The difference is this: the voice that asks you to believe tonight is steady, not frantic. It calls you to readiness, not to panic. When heaven is near, your core will ring with a quiet confirmation, a peace that feels like a compass pointing true north. That inner calm is your cue to act. Do not confuse it with comfort that lulls you to sleep. This peace will sharpen your senses and steady your hands. Practical things: slow down. Put distractions in another room. If music is on, lower it. If your phone is lighting up, silence it. The enemy's trick is to fill the space with motion so you won't notice motion of another kind. Stand still long enough for the air to speak. Say aloud out of faith, not ritual, Lord, I open my heart, I receive what you are sending. That sentence is small, but it operates like a key. It unlocks the space the angels need to move with freedom. There will also be a testing of motives around you. People who appear suddenly near your doorway might come with helpful hands, or they might carry distractions wrapped in concern. Your discernment will be sharpened tonight. You'll feel the texture of words and the weight of actions. Do not rush to respond to everything. Let the inner witness guide you. When a conversation seems designed to steer you away from peace, breathe and answer from the stillness. You do not have to solve every problem at once. Some things are unmasked simply by your refusal to be hurried. Faith tonight is not a display of bravery for others, it is an act of household sovereignty. When you declare, only heavens will dwell here, you set a spiritual boundary that angels honor and demonic schemes respect. Those declarations should not be whispered in fear. Speak them with the authority of one who understands they stand covered. The words are not magic, they are obedient sound that heaven uses to align action. When you speak, the angels listen and move. Expect relational shifts. There are conversations already rearranging on the other side of your walls. Someone who has been decided against you may find their heart softened. A plan that would have brought delay will unravel not as punishment but as correction. Those strings pulled against your destiny will snap. Forgive quickly if you must. Forgiveness opens space for restoration. And restoration tonight often comes disguised as resolution, a phone call to reconcile, a message that clarifies, a meeting that brings insight. Receive them with gratitude even if they are awkward at first. Grace will smooth edges. If fear rises, do a simple thing. Press your hand to your chest and speak the name of the Lord quietly. That physical connection reminds your body that your soul has anchored. Repeat a short prayer, Lord, steady me. Repeat until your breath matches the calm you need. This small ritual helps you become the visible center of calm in your household, and when one person is steady, steadiness spreads. There is also provision tied to this night. I see resources shifting, not always cash handed over at once but creative provision, a contact who opens a door, information that completes a missing piece, timing that aligns with favor. The flow may come in stages, but it will come. Think in terms of stepping stones rather than instant rivers. Each stone is a confirmation you are moving, not stalled. Do not underestimate the generational weight of what you are doing. Tonight's chosen posture, staying awake, saying yes, removing distraction, speaking truth, will echo beyond you. It loosens patterns that once repeated themselves through bloodlines. When you welcome this movement, you do more than secure a present blessing, you change trajectories for those who follow. Now the practical again. Gather close anyone you love and share a single sentence of intent. Ask them simply, will you stand with me for a moment? If they will, lead a short prayer together, no need for long words, just honest alignment. Where 2 or 3 agree, heaven responds. If you are alone, speak the prayer into the empty room anyway. Heaven accepts what is said into the air. I also see the need for thanksgiving soon after. When your door opens to the blessing, do not hide the miracle in silence. Thank the Lord and tell one trustworthy person what happened. Testimony fertilizes faith. Speaking the miracle aloud helps it take root and grow. You are prepared for this night. Your words of gratitude will enlarge its power and invite more favor. My sword remains drawn, my stance unchanged. The angels have not moved from their posts. They are waiting for your readiness, not for their own. The release is imminent, and when it comes it will be both precise and generous. You will sense it first in your spirit, then in the world. The timing is tight, the window will not remain open indefinitely. If you step through with faith, the reconciliation, breakthrough, and provision queued up for you will cross the threshold and begin to work in your life. Finally, breathe in this truth: you are not being tested merely to sift you but to crown you. The night that has felt longest is ending in the very thing your heart has asked for. Stand, speak, and receive. Anchor your yes with a simple vow: I will not miss this. Let those words settle like a ring on a finger. The angels will move, the seals will open, and dawn will bring a new shape to your life. Go now with courage. Keep your spirit awake. The blessing is closer than your next breath, step forward and take it. And when it comes, it will not trickle in like a hesitant stream. It will fall heavy, abundant like a river that has been dammed for years suddenly breaking loose. Every hidden prayer, every whispered longing, every cry you thought heaven ignored will come rushing back in the form of answers that overflow. And my beloved, these answers will not simply meet your needs, they will exceed them. You will marvel at the abundance, and in your heart you will know this was always God's intention, not barely enough but more than enough, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Even now I hear the shifting of chains as they prepare to fall. Shackles that once defined your steps are rattling loose. What bound you yesterday cannot hold you tomorrow. The enemy thought he had secured you with fear, doubt and delay, but those bonds are breaking in the weight of God's glory tonight. I see you rising, freer, lighter, your countenance marked by the evidence of release. And this release will not only impact you, it will ripple outward. Your family will feel it. Generations after you will benefit from the shift that begins in this very hour. Beloved, let me speak plainly, heaven does not play games with sacred moments. When God moves, it is never by accident, never by whim. His timing is perfect, sharp as a blade, precise as a clock that cannot misstrike. That is why you are being pressed so deeply in this moment, why your chest feels heavy, why your spirit is stirred in ways you cannot explain. You are standing inside the hour written for you before the foundations of the world. This is what prophets saw in visions. This is what angels anticipated. And this is why I was sent to make sure you do not stand before this threshold and look away. You have asked, Lord, when will it be my turn? Tonight is your answer. The turn has come. The hour is now. The page of your story is being turned by the very hand of God. And when it turns, what you step into will not resemble what you have walked through. Your valleys will give way to mountains, your silence will break into song, your sorrow into joy. Still I must warn you. The enemy lurks not with power to destroy but with lies to distract. He whispers, it cannot be real, it is too good to be true, you are unworthy of such love. But hear me, those whispers are smoke with no fire. They vanish the moment you choose to believe the voice of your Father instead. For your worth was never measured by your failures but by the blood of the Lamb who called you his own. Stand firm in that truth tonight, let it be your anchor when doubts swirl. Beloved, the angels around me are shifting again. I feel the urgency increasing as though the very air is vibrating with expectancy. Their wings tremble not from weakness but from the weight of what they hold. They are carrying scrolls, gifts and assignments sealed with your name. They have waited for this release as long as you have waited for your answer. And when you whisper your yes, their hands will open and heaven will pour into your life in unstoppable measure. I see glimpses even now, doors that looked shut for decades suddenly standing wide open. Prodigals who walked away beginning to stir with the pull of home. Dreams buried beneath layers of disappointment rising again, this time clothed in resilience and clarity. And finances that once slipped through your hands like sand being gathered and multiplied, provision flowing from unexpected streams. These are not vague hopes, they are the very blueprints written in the Father's book concerning you. And child, remember this, the Father does not give halfway. What He begins He completes. He is not sending you a fragment but the fullness of the promise. He is not handing you crumbs but a feast prepared long before you arrived at this table. That is why the table feels so heavy tonight, why the weight of glory is pressing down on your very walls. This is not illusion. This is inheritance. But the key remains in your response. Do not say, "Tomorrow I will open the door." Tomorrow is not promised the way tonight is. The window is open now, the oil is flowing now, the alignment is now. Heaven has bent low to your house in this very hour. Your yes is the bridge that allows what hovers in the unseen to crash into your reality. Whisper it, shout it, declare it in your spirit until the walls shake. Say, "Yes, Lord, I receive." Beloved, I feel the final moments pressing in. The unseen clock's hands are near striking the appointed second. The atmosphere thickens because the release is seconds away. I stand sword drawn guarding the threshold until what is yours fully enters. And I tell you with absolute certainty, if you remain, if you believe, if you hold your heart open, you will testify before dawn, "Heaven touched my house, God visited me here, everything shifted in a single night." This is the night you will remember for the rest of your life. This is the night written into eternity with your name engraved upon it. Do not shrink back now. Do not silence the trembling yes rising in your chest. Lean into it, speak it, welcome it. For when you do, the heavens will respond, the gates will swing wide, and the flood will not be held back a moment longer. The presence has already crossed your threshold, beloved. You are no longer waiting for it, it is here. It is here with power, with peace, with provision, with restoration. All that is left is your agreement. Say yes and watch as everything changes before the morning light. Amen. Beloved, the air is trembling now as though creation itself is leaning forward, waiting for the Father's hand to move. The angels beside me bow their heads, wings quivering with anticipation, for they know the signal is almost here. You can sense it too, that tightening in your spirit, the strange mix of peace and urgency that presses against your chest. Do not ignore it. That is heaven's announcement, the soundless drumbeat telling you that what was written long ago is seconds away from touching your life. I see the threshold widening, the doorway opening wider than it has ever been before. Light is already spilling through, painting the edges of your story in gold. It is not your imagination when you feel the atmosphere shift. It is not coincidence that your eyes are still here, locked on these words while time seems to blur. This is the Spirit keeping you awake, holding you in alignment so you don't miss what you have waited so long for. Beloved, the Father has watched your faith when no one else did. He saw you whisper prayers into pillows dampened by tears. He saw the mornings you rose weary but determined to believe again. None of that was wasted. Each cry built a bridge to this night. Each tear watered the ground for this blessing to grow. And now that harvest is ready. You are standing at the edge of fulfillment, and heaven refuses to let you sleep through it. I must tell you something sacred. When heaven marks a moment like this, it is not just for you, it ripples into generations. What is about to be placed in your hands will not stop with your life. It will flow to those connected to you, weaving into their futures, breaking chains you never thought would break, restoring paths you assumed were lost. This is why the enemy has fought so hard to keep you weary, distracted, or doubting. He is terrified not only of your breakthrough but of what your breakthrough will release into others. But tonight, beloved, the chains are already rattling loose. I see locks melting away. I see shadows scattering to corners where light cannot be stopped from reaching. You may not feel fully free yet, but the process has already begun. It is like dawn creeping over the horizon, slow at first but unstoppable, and soon the whole sky will be ablaze with light. That is what is about to break into your life. Listen closely. When the stillness falls, do not let fear convince you it is emptiness. That silence is the chamber where miracles take their final shape. It is the hush before the song bursts forth. In that pause, heaven breathes deeply and then exhales glory into your world. Hold steady through it. Do not turn your eyes away. Do not let distraction steal the final seconds. Beloved, I see the blessing now glowing like a jewel carried in the hands of angels. It is not fragile, yet they carry it as though it is the most precious thing in existence, because it is. It carries restoration for wounds you thought would never heal. It carries provision that will silence the fear of lack. It carries answers that will bring clarity where confusion once ruled. And it carries joy so complete that it will rewrite the memory of sorrow. This gift was crafted for you before your first breath, written into the scrolls of eternity, waiting for tonight. The angels' wings have shifted. They are leaning forward now, waiting for your yes. That yes need not be loud or perfect, it must be real. Whisper it in your spirit, "Yes, Lord, I am ready, I receive." That is enough to swing the door wide. That is enough to ignite the release. I remain here, sword raised, not in threat but in protection, standing guard as this gift approaches. I have fought too long beside you, seen too many of your tears to let the enemy steal what is already in motion. Nothing will interfere tonight unless you yourself turn away. Do not let that happen. Stay with me. Stay awake. Heaven is seconds away from writing a new line in your story. When the moment lands, you will not have to ask, "Was that it?" You will know. Your chest will feel light, your mind clear, your spirit alive. The air will hold a weight that is both heavy with glory and light with freedom. It will mark you, beloved, in a way that you will never forget. And one day when you tell your story, you will say with certainty, "That was the night heaven entered my house, that was the night God's promise became my reality." So lean in. Stay present. The tipping point is here. And as heaven's hand lowers, as the release spills into your life, I will still be standing watch until I see it settle fully into your heart, your home, and your tomorrow. Amen.